Recorded Books, Incorporated, presents an unabridged recording of A Time Without Shadows by Ted Allbeury, narrated by Simon Prebble. This book, copyrighted 1990 by Ted Allbeury, is recorded by permission of the author and the Blake Friedman Literary Agency. This performance is copyrighted 1991 by Recorded Books, Incorporated. Ted Allbeury writes in his preface, "This book is about France, but it began in Ethiopia. I lived for a time in a house on a hill just outside Harar, an almost biblical town in Ethiopia. The house was covered with bougainvillea, and I shared it with another army officer. We had a portable gramophone, and were both madly in love with Josephine Baker. We had a record of hers that we played a dozen times a day. On my side she sang J'ai deux amours, mon pays et Paris, and on my friend's side she sang La Petite Tonkinoise. His ambition for after the war was to live in Saigon. Mine was to live in Paris. For France to have been defeated and occupied by the Germans seemed incredible and obscene. When, eventually, Germany was defeated and I was part of the occupation, the lesson that has stayed longest in my mind is that in occupied countries life has to go on. It doesn't make much difference whether you are French or German. The same indignities and human virtues and vices still apply. Occupiers and occupied are just men and women, like the marriage service, for better or worse, richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. I wrote this novel mainly for those who didn't live in those times, to show how it was. My friend never made it to Saigon. He died in Auschwitz. And I've lived in many places, but never in Paris. And now, A Time Without Shadows.
Prologue. Marcus Price was the Member of Parliament for one of the West Midlands constituencies, an excellent constituency MP, but an infrequent speaker in the House. It was only because it was a Friday afternoon, and most MPs had already left for their constituencies, that he caught the Speaker's eye. "Mr. Price," the Speaker called, and Price took one last quick glance at his single page of notes before he stood.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?